Gearwire.com. I'm Owen, and we're going to continue our look at the Zoom H4n. It's the next generation H4 from Zoom. In our previous video, we checked out the 4-channel recording mode, wherein you can use simultaneously inputs 1 and 2 and the built-in external microphones to record 4 channels simultaneously. Now we're going to switch over to multi-track record mode, take those files that we recorded, drop them into the vastly improved multi-track function on the H4n. Let's take a listen. So now we are taking a look at the 4-track mode. Obviously the larger screen here has enabled Zoom to really update the 4-track mode, the multi-track mode interface. Just for comparison, here's the original H4, much smaller screen, a little bit harder to read. Basically you're looking at, individual tracks, one track at a time, and then you have to switch between a mixer menu window. Sort of awkward. They've combined both of those in this newly updated interface here for the multi-track recorder on the H4n. Now, we recorded a 4-track demo using the 4-channel mode in the previous video. But if you want to drop those files into there, the first thing you have to do is to plug this guy into your computer in USB mode and take the stereo files that you recorded in the 4-channel folder system and drop them into the multi-track folder system into the open project. This is just project 000. That's the sort of default name for the first project. Once it's in there, you can see right here I've got 1 and 2 are linked as one channel, and I've already dropped the file in there. So let's do the same thing to channels 3 and 4. I've selected, click on the jog wheel. Now the first thing you got to do is link them. So you go link. Oh, hang on a sec. Let's disarm that track. So the first thing you do is click link, go to on. So now you've got these linked. So now you can drop in the stereo file that you recorded earlier. You go to File, Select, and this is the other file was present, but since it's already selected in 1 and 2, now we only have this file. So let's drop that in there. We go back, press the menu button to go back to our main interface, and now we've got 2 stereo files that we've got to bounce down. But before we bounce them down, we can adjust their relative levels. Let's just listen to what we've got recorded.
Recording.
People get crushed like biscuit crumbs and lay down in the bitumen. You have tried your best to please everyone, but it just isn't happening. No, it just isn't happening. This is your blind spot, blind spot. It should be obvious, but it's not.
Okay, so now that we've got all of our levels set, we're going to want to bounce our track. So we can click on Bounce here. Name is just Bounce 1, format is stereo, and we can execute it. And now it's processing. Okay, now as you can see, I've unlinked track 3 and 4. I've selected no file for track 3 and 4, and I've taken my bounce file and dropped it into 1, 2. And it looks like this. Once you've got your bounce, you just select a file. Well, let's go back to none, so there's no file selected. So when you select the file, there you go, bounce 0, 0. That's your bounce file. So you just load that in there. And now we can start laying some overdubs. So let's start off by laying a little bass track here. Now, there's a bunch of handy functions on here. If you want to start tracking individual tracks directly from the H4n, and you want to sort of keep time, there is a metronome function. You can set a tempo for your project. Right now, since we've already sort of set a tempo with our drum machine, we're not going to do that. However, it would be nice to use the tuner. Now, if you want to arm a track for recording, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 down here. We'll press 3. Now 3 is armed for recording, and you can hear your bass. You can start monitoring your tone. Now let's tune our bass first. There is a bass tuner in here. Let's go to Menu, go to Tool, and we've got our tuner right here. We can select a bass tuner. Now you do have to choose each string individually to tune. And now the next thing we want to do is let's choose an input effect, which is basically where you go to your amp modeling. We'll go back to Menu, we'll go to Effect. We can turn it on, and let's choose a preset here. You can see a different, kind of get an idea of what these different presets are doing here. So here we go. See, here's Hartke. Which is different from a Bassman. Which is different from SVT. Let's just use the SVT preset for now. And we'll go back to our main window. We've got input 3 selected. Our gain looks pretty good. We would use the input gain on the side here to adjust that. And let's just record a little bass track, shall we?
Recording. People get crushed.
Okay, so now I want to lay a little guitar overdub. So I've moved from, I had track 3 armed, so now I'm going to arm track 4. Okay. We've set our input level here. And I want to have a kind of like a cool spacey effect, so I went over to Effect and I made one with a reverse echo. It's all built in here. It's called, well, I just called it Demo. I'll show you what the Effect Edit window looks like. You choose a number, go to Edit. We've got our preamp. I chose a Fender Clean. There's a lot of different amps you can choose from. And you can change their EQ settings and whatnot. For an effect, I chose Reverse Delay. There's a bunch of different effects you can choose from. I set its level at 100, and then I stored it. So we've got 50 going on here. Let's just lay down this guitar track. See how that goes.
Recording. People get crushed like biscuit crumbs and lay down in the bitumen. You have tried your best to please everyone, but it just isn't happening. No, it just isn't happening. This is your blind spot. Blind spot. It should be obvious, but it's not. Let's listen back to that.
So that was kind of fun. So there you go. You can just keep adding tracks, bouncing them down, adding more tracks, because every time you bounce down, you'll free up another 2 tracks. So you can really layer quite a complex arrangement there and bounce it all down to a stereo track. You can just drop it onto your computer, burn a CD. There you go. So that'll wrap up our look at the Zoom H4n, a very multi-talented field recorder, multi-track, multi-channel, 4-channel simultaneous recorder, digital recorder from Zoom. Pretty handy little thing. I guess that's why they call it the handy recorder. Thanks for watching Gearwire.com. I'm Owen. See you guys soon.